Good morning, sunshine. Welcome to another day of the Make Your Damn Bed podcast. Today, I wanted to talk about love languages. This, about 2 years ago, was a very popular topic, especially for me. So, admittedly, I did get sucked into the world of wanting to understand everything about it. And in doing so, I took every single quiz and did quite a bit of research on it at the time. And in today's episode, I'm going to give you mostly my experience of it, but also go into some of the things to look out for, some of the red flags, as well as some of the cool things about it that did make me have a new perspective on relationships, which I think is incredibly valuable given the context, especially the fact that it became pretty mainstream pretty quickly. And when things like that happen, I do think that they have more value than they do negative impact typically, depending on the situation, obviously. And I suppose we should start off with explaining what the 5 love languages are. According to author Gary Chapman, there are 5 love languages, and he describes them as the way that we receive love. But in my personal opinion, that's the biggest red flag with love languages. There's not enough of them. I have some that don't fit into any of these categories. To be fair, I will give the love languages credit in the sense that if you do take the quizzes, it often tells you that you are within several of them at once, because that's the thing is I have many of them. And the way that I receive love depends on my partner. And I think that's something that's often not accounted for when we take these quizzes. It depends on the person. I've had people that love buying gifts to placate somebody for not having enough time for them. That's not good to me. I don't love that. That was not a great experience. That said, I've had partners who bought me gifts because they were genuinely thinking about me while they were out and about. And to me, that was the game changer. That to me felt beautiful. So in that relationship, gift giving was incredibly valuable. And in my opinion, a good relationship makes you feel free enough to be your best version of yourself, supported by another person, and also co-pilot and be their best selves in their own journey, whatever that may be. Sometimes you might have coinciding or perpendicular or even parallel paths, but most of the time they are different paths that are dedicated to growing at the same pace, or at least in the same direction as the other person. Or if you're in a long-term partnership, sometimes being patient while they get their bearings and are willing to work through those moments where they're not able to pick up if they are having an ebb year, as I like to call them. That said, let's go into the 5 love languages, which are words of affirmation. This, according to Psychology Today, is saying supportive things to your partner. And in my opinion, words of affirmation are so much more than that. It's playing with me. If I build a world of joy and fun, it's checking in with me. It's validating not just my opinions, because that's not necessarily what I need. It's validating my existence. It's recognizing and volleying with me at your own pace and capacity in a way that feels good for both of us, that respects me and my boundaries and opinions in a way that also respects yours, right? It's any good banter that you have with anyone. I want that with a partner, of course, but I want them to pay attention. I want them to be invested emotionally, and however that shows up for whatever partnership I may be in that moment might manifest differently, right? The second one that is referenced here is the acts of service. These are doing helpful things for your partner. To me, this is more about noticing. See a need, fill a need type of person. If the trash needs to go out, you're taking the trash out. If you notice that your partner really likes to have this ready, you set that up for them. Like, it's noticing is more important than just doing the service. That sort of thing is so beautiful to me. The next one is receiving gifts. And this is something I referenced earlier, being completely based on context. I don't love things in general, so I'm hard to buy for. But if you come through with the iced coffee I like, or which I guess could be considered an act of service too. But see, that's the thing, is they're all kind of, I have notes for it, basically. Anyway, the last 2 that are referenced are 2 of my big ones in romantic relationships, which are quality time and physical touch. Quality time is spending that meaningful time, that one-on-one, attentive time together, either being active or not. It might be doing things side by side. It might be communicating actively, but it's quality time in whatever capacity that may be for our relationship at this moment. And the last one, which is physical touch, which according to Psychology Today is being close to and caressed by your partner. But in my opinion, it's any type of physical connection, that shoulder squeeze when you're walking by each other, holding hands, taking a moment to just have a hug in the kitchen before starting your day. And to me, sometimes in certain relationships, it is not the vibe, but some relationships do and can ebb into that in time and practice. It just really depends on the environment, the situation. And I think that that has always been my biggest note when taking these quizzes is a lot of people are like, my love language is quality time and I need that. And if my partner can't give it to me, I'm breaking up with them. And to me, I'm like, well, there's going to be times when your partner might be in law school or taking a technical course or learning how to change oil on YouTube, and he won't be able to spend quality time with you. And that's going to feel bad, maybe. And you will know that that is temporary. And to me, that's more important than setting an expectation that's unrealistic based on a quiz you may have seen on BuzzFeed. Anyway, that does it for today. But if you want to see the video aspect of this or watch along as you do listen to your podcasts every morning, we are going on YouTube as well. You can tune in at youtube.com/JulieMerica if you'd like. And if you are watching on YouTube right now, but you can also tune into this podcast really anywhere you listen to podcasts, which is Spotify, Apple, you know, the big hits. You get it. You know where to listen. It's probably on your phone already. Just say, hey, can I listen to this podcast, Make Your Damn Bed podcast? And they'll say, yeah, absolutely you can, because we're in the future now. All right, I'll talk more about love languages tomorrow. In the meantime, take care of yourself. I love you so stinking much. Bye, friends.